Hello, my friends, and welcome. It's been a while since I've dropped into this space. It's just the way things work in my world. So I've been thinking about coming out in some platform. I just wasn't sure where yet to almost do a bit of a reintroduction of sorts. So and this feels like the place to do it. So I've had a lot of people asking questions, reaching out lately about, herbal products, personal training, nutrition coaching, all the different things, asking, are you still doing that? So I thought I would come on here and, like I said, have a little bit of a conversation, just share what's been going on a little bit. It's not going to be really long. I just wanted to, hang out a little bit and see what's going on in everybody's worlds. So if you have never been here before, my name is Tracy. I call myself the unconventional alchemist. I'm not going to be sharing all that story today, but hey, if it pops up, it pops up. We'll see what happens. So really what I wanted to do was just share my evolution over the last few years, like I said, as a way to reintroduce or introduce myself in a more public way, because, life changed a lot a few years ago. And that's why people are asking me, are you still doing these things? So what I thought I wanted from life 3 years ago is so vastly different from where I am today. But at the same time, it feels like this air quotes coming full circle moment, because I'm still doing what I love. It just looks really different than I expected. And isn't that where the magic of it is, right? It has been the perfect environment for me to go off and do my own thing. I'm all about experimenting and seeing just what works for me and those I'm working with. And, I'm so appreciative of those people that dip in and out and try different things that I'm working on in different formats, and some work and some don't. And it's all kind of fun. And I learn so much every time. And it's probably why I'm able to kind of come now and offer something that I think is a lot more cohesive and just maybe a little easier to understand. So it really hit home for me this past winter during a personal training session I was having with a long-term client and friend. She was quite sick, but she wanted to power through her session. And I'd known her for a really long time, so I'm quite comfortable. I just made her stop, and we had a long conversation about how she was feeling. She has a really complex medical history. Like I said, we've been working together for years. I just know her well. My background as a respiratory therapist and just, 25 plus years of working with people, I can read people pretty well. So we had this conversation about what was going on and made a plan for what we were going to do. And at one point she said to me, she's like, are you speaking to me as my personal trainer or as my respiratory therapist? And I just looked at her and said, I can't take off those hats. I am who I am. I've had the trainings, experience, life that I've had, and I can't put it into these buckets that they just are what they are. So this is just who I am. It's in my DNA. It's just in my blueprint of what I'm all about. I am a lifelong learner. So all of those certifications that I have done, the more formal, I call them my formal trainings, I've already unlearned and learned so much more than what I got out of those things. Like, they were all great. I've taken what works for me and my people, and, I can dip back into resources when I need them. But integrating all of those various pieces isn't something that's in a textbook, right? When you take all your life and my own personal experiences with health and all the things, I don't even know, like thousands of people that I've worked with over the years. I wouldn't even know how many it's been, but it's a lot. And a huge variety of different health and wellness aspects. And, one of my biggest takeaways and frustrations for this whole, like I said, 25 plus years has always been this systems and systems approach that is just the foundation of allopathic healthcare, basically our world of everything. And you, my friends, are so much more than the sum of your parts. And it's time that we started treating ourselves and others like the whole complex, messy humans that we are. And just be human beings. I keep seeing that popping up in someone I follow on Instagram. And we're human beings, not just here to work hard and, have fun later. To remember that the, again, air quote, answers can be much easier than we think, and maybe they'll even be fun. Doesn't mean what you need to do to get to the root of something that's causing you issues is easy, but the path or some of the solutions may be a lot easier than you think they will be. And I look at each of us as these wonderfully unique beings. We have our own blueprint for living a healthy life in this world that we are in today. And that is key. That is the key context. The world we live in, and depending on what age you are, I'm 52, the world we're living in today is not the same even from when I was a child, let alone my parents, my grandparents, and back. It's completely different in ways that you could label as good and bad, whichever, take your pick, but it's very different. And, we just know different things now too. So, we're in this time too where everything is changing around us. It's hard to know who or what deserves your attention. And it's really time to become more discerning, by taking care of your own health first and foremost, and then those around you. It's all about you. Be selfish if that's what people want to call you. But if you don't look after yourself, you're no good to everybody else. So I've tried to create a variety of ways to work with people and share my vast resources as they may be required. So instead of, personal training or nutrition coaching and keeping things all compartmentalized and having, different rates for different things and different follow-ups and blah, blah, all that stuff, it's too complicated. My brain doesn't like it. It's too complicated. I want to keep it simple and just as easy as possible to fit into your day, because I know you got a life. And these are, sometimes you just want to turn up the volume on some things a little bit here and there, but you have other things you need to do too. And it's all based on where you are today, where you're going. And I like to also look long into the future. I'm not looking at, 6-week programs. Those are great. They have their time and place. It's just not where I work well. I like to work with people over the long term, to not be focused on short fixes or neat little boxes that dictate what part of me you're going to get. Because when you get me, you get a pretty open book. So I still love personal training and talking about all things related to food, especially because I keep learning new things. Like I said, I've unlearned so much and learned so much and put things together in all different ways. And it's so much more interesting now. So I'm still kickboxing on a regular basis. I still remind myself and clients about paying attention to our breathing almost every single day. I hear my own words in my own head. I'm still passionate about everyone improving the quality of their sleep and the state of their nervous system. Again, I live and breathe this stuff every day. We can't be put in all these little boxes and keep doing the things that aren't working to make our lives better. It takes time, a willingness to learn and unlearn, and a fierceness to put yourself at center stage in your own life. Like that does come with, not everyone's going to like that you're doing these things for you. This is one of the things I do talk about a lot with my clients as well, or my friends, as I call them. Like I said, I live and breathe this stuff every day at a level so that you don't have to. Like, I love the 3-hour long form podcasts. I don't like literally delivering them, and I don't think most of the people that I talk to have time for that. So let me do that for you and bring it back to you in a much more synthesized, easier way to digest. I also have this very steady energy and mindset and a fortitude that, it lets me lock into this like flexible structure that really supports me each day. And I know not everybody is able to create those things for themselves. And that's one of my gifts to the world, is helping people be able to do this. Because it's not easy to create things that are here to last for your life. We aren't doing, like I said, 6-week programs. These are lifestyle things. I don't like to put a whole lot of labels on it, but it's not easy to create. Like I said, we can get really confused about how complicated we think it needs to be, but I promise it is easier than you think. And who doesn't want more of that in your life? A little bit more fun. So here's what I've done. I'm going to put a little simplified listing of some things where you might want to tap in here. And then I'm going to invite you. I'll put a link into this, but you can just come onto my website and take a peek around, reach out. I'm pretty easy to access in all the different places. So here's what I've got for you. If you are interested in things like personal training, mobility, nutrition coaching, sleep and stress support, things like that, the reinvention system is the thing for you. This is where you purchase blocks of time, 5 sessions of 30 minutes, 10 sessions of 30 minutes, whatever. There's all kinds of different options. You purchase blocks of time and we'll decide how we use it. So we might be training together a couple times a week or once a week, or maybe I'm using the time to write programs for you. There's so many different ways it can work out. So don't let anything stop you from trying it out in that sense. So it's like a la carte. We can talk about anything. We just schedule the time and we just take off the sessions as we use them up. I also have, it's an online exercise program, I guess you could call it. It's called Fight Club. So there's all kinds of resources there. It is fairly cheap. I believe it's $25 a month. You can subscribe, cancel anytime you want, and there's a live new workout in there once a week that you can access. And you can do it either live with us or anytime you want, because, schedules change, things happen. If you want the ability to essentially chat with me about anything related to health and wellness on a daily basis, I have another kind of lower cost kind of monthly membership that you could access called Rhythms and Patterns. Excuse me. This is called the Codes and Magic Club most recently. I'm in the process of changing some of these names over. So this is access to a couple of different private channels where we chat Monday to Friday, daily insights. Sometimes we have little like weekly challenges. There's all kinds of different things. I share podcasts, videos, all kinds of stuff. It's like I said, you kind of pull back the covers and you get access to me every day. And we can go anywhere. Next, if you're looking for more of an in-depth chat about you and your goals, I'd love to spend some one-on-one time with you. I have blueprint sessions, which is 60 minutes focused on you, addressing your pain, making plans for your future, talking about the options, all the different things. So we'll have that 60 minutes, and then we'll also have a follow-up 30-minute chat whenever we decide makes sense, just to make sure we stay on track with whatever we talked about during that session. If you want to go even more in depth and have more intensive learning opportunities, get access to a community of other people that are also very focused on their health. I should have said to you, the Rhythms and Patterns, you also get access to a community there too, because everybody who's in that program is there. So you'll see all the chats and things that go on there. Get to know the people. But if you want to come into this more intensive place, daily insights, the blueprint sessions, so putting all these things together, strength and mobility training, videos about energies of the seasons and the changes that we're all in. On top of that, there's a space where we get together every 2 weeks to talk about all the things we're learning, experiencing, alchemizing, whatever you want to call it. Alchemy is the program for you. Again, this is a new brand that's coming out. It was the Codes and Magic Mastermind for the first half of this year. Changing it up a little bit. This is now going to become a 4-month immersion opportunity, just because what I'm learning over time as I work with people is that, the more time we're together, the better the experience and bringing all this stuff together. So it's just, again, another place where we really, really pull back the cover. So I said that before, but you really get all kinds of access. So I'll have some, again, on the website, there'll be more details there about that. And I'll probably do another video about that very shortly, podcast, whatever we're doing this at, whatever format it falls out there. And then the last place, and probably really exciting place for me, because it's the newest place in a lot of ways, is the Codes and Magic Apothecary, the online shop that I've created. And it feels like it's like that last missing piece. It's that piece that really bridges all this like lifestyle work, all those ongoing aspects of what it takes to be and remain healthy with products that actually support your efforts. They're all natural, plant-inspired and infused herbal tonics and remedies. They're either grown or foraged locally to me in here in New Brunswick. And I'm making like small custom batches, and it's just so much fun. There's so much to explore in the shop. There's tinctures, balms, salves, creams, serums, bars, teas are coming soon, all kinds of things, collections, you name it. There's a new subscription box coming out. Again, I should come back out with some more information about that really soon as well. Lots of moving pieces. And it's part of the whole reason I wanted to simplify this. I'm one person doing all these different pieces that I love. So we're just pulling it back, making it a little easier to access and understand what's going on. So I hope things are really well with you. Reach out. I'd love to know how you're doing, how you've been, where you want to go, and all the things. It's so much fun to connect and see what kind of magic we can work up together, if that's what you want to do. So be well, and I will talk to you soon.